Well, hello there, boys and girls, and welcome back to the channel. Yes, as promised, I have a bunch of things to knock out for review, and guess what? It's prime time, so most of these are actually on sale. Am I going to claim that they're all the best of the best? No. There are a ton of people this time of year put out the top 20 things you should buy on Amazon, the top 5 things you should buy on Amazon. That's because we make money when you click on anything on Amazon after clicking our links, and we do appreciate it. For me, it's the only income that this channel has. I actually don't get any monetization from this channel, and I don't really care because this channel is for fun, not for profit. So as you know, I've kind of partnered with Nooie. They've been really kind and sent me a bunch of stuff, and I've purchased a lot of stuff. I currently have about 8 of their cameras around my house for security purposes, and they all work great. And I purchased some things that I already have a different version from a different company that's really similar. One of them will be the next video coming up, which is the pet feeder. But what I like is all of their stuff is on the same network, I guess you could end up saying. Uses the same apps. It all integrates very well, and I like that fact. Today, we're going to be taking a look at this guy. This is their version of a Roomba, and I think they call it the Nooie robot, but it's basically a vacuum. I've been putting off this review for a little bit because I've done some remodeling of stuff downstairs. I had to change some of the things that I had downstairs for this to be able to work properly, because things were too clustered together. I have a bunch of tubs and boxes and things like that, and you know, I don't have kids, so my place it's not super messy. It's not dirty, but it's not the most organized. And I kind of went through the last couple of weeks and reorganized and just shredded a bunch of stuff, got rid of a bunch of stuff. Like, really, do we need stuffed animals from Valentine's from like 16 years ago? I don't. And what's funny is I have a friend of mine that has something similar to this. Theirs isn't the Roomba. I think theirs is the Dyson version, and it works great, but their cats are scared. All hell is scared of it. My cats have had no issues. In fact, I keep expecting to find one of them sitting on it, riding it around. I wish they would, so that I could get a freaking video of that, because that would be hilarious. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to roughly show you the box. Nobody really cares how it's packaged and everything. It's well packaged. It showed up fine. That part is perfectly fine. Now, before we get any further, is this all rainbows and sunshine? No, there are a few issues, and we will go over those quirks later on in the video. But for right now, let me just show you the box. All right, so here is the box, and yes, the box is big. Well, the vacuum's big, but it's well packaged and everything. It does work with Alexa. I'm sorry if you have one of those and I just triggered it, but it does do that. Now, this did come with 1 dust bag in it and 2 dust bags. If you check on this on Amazon, it does say it comes with 2. It came with 2 extras. One of my little quirks with that is I had a hard time finding bags, and I need to message them. I think I can get them from their website, which is nooie.com, but I couldn't find them on Amazon. And the one thing that I did end up finding online, they said that the bags were reusable. Technically, if you have hard floors and it's just doing the daily, like just dust and things like that, you could theoretically empty out the bags, and I'll show you what a brand new bag looks like. But I have 2 cats, and this works very well, sucking up cat hair and dust balls and things like that. The problem is, unless you want to sit there with a pair of tweezers and fish them out of the hole that they get blown into, it's not really worth it. It would be better if you could buy the vacuum bags in, you know, a pack of 5 or something like that. That being said, 1 dust bag does last about 3-4 weeks, I want to say, with this doing it on a daily basis. And my wife has tested this and gone over the floor after this is gone 4 or 5 days, and she's used the Dyson, and the pickup with the Dyson was minimal, which was freaking great. The downside is if you have any thick pile rugs or thicker rugs, I would say anything 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch higher than your normal carpet, because I have all carpet downstairs. This has a hard time. It will kind of high center and freeze up, and it'll just sit there. So I ended up removing the rug that I have in my living room just so that it could, well, vacuum the whole living room. we'll go over those quirks later. Inside, hopefully everything's in focus. These cute little stickers are cute that they end up sitting with it, but this was where the dust bags were. Everything was in here. I don't think I've pulled everything out of here, and I actually don't know where the instruction booklet is. My wife had it and then she lost it, and I very well may have tossed it when I was tossing all the other stuff. But this is another brush that goes on the underside of it to scoop up loose stuff and shove it into the vacuum's mouth. I'll show you that here in a second, but it does come with an extra one of those. But other than that, I think that's it as far as inside the box. Now, I did not bring up the base station because I have it set in a specific spot, and I really don't want to go through that whole recentering and the retraining and everything of that. Taking a look at the back side of the box. Yes, now if you have hardwood floors and then you have a rug, that's going to be fine as long as the rug is not too high up or it doesn't have like curled up edges. But going from carpet to a rug, it had a really hard time. This is one of the dust bags. Has a little tag chute, and you just pull up and it closes off the bag. And the sensors and everything are really cool. The bags are actually very nice and well done, and they're good sized bags. And the thing is, you don't have to keep checking it. It'll actually tell you when there's no more capacity left. It'll give you a chime and it'll shut itself down and tell you that it's time to change the bag. But this is one of the bags. This is my last one, and I'm going to have to find a way to order some more. Like I said, this is the little brush that goes on the underside. So this is on the underside, and it just sweeps stuff up into the mouth. I did figure out how to turn this off so that it didn't go completely crazy. The dust bag is in here. You do get a little attachment here for cleaning out the underside and everything. You can just slide that up and then slide out the dust bag. And as you can see, yep, I've been using it. Now, these could be reusable, but like I said, I have cats, and you can see there's a big wad of cat fuzz in there. So this does a job very well. Now, there is some loose stuff that got in here, and I'm not sure how, like maybe it got around the bag hole. But other than that, it works really well. It will not run without a bag in there. So you just slide that in, and then it'll activate the sensor. You want to make sure that that tab is pushed down. Close the lid. It'll recognize that. You do have two vents on here on each side, and you do have a sensor eye on the front. Now, one thing I have noticed is even when I've tried blocking off when it's doing its mapping, you know, like using your foot to stop it, it still maps the room. So my downstairs is completely mapped and perfectly mapped. The downside that I've ended up finding is about every 2 weeks or so forth, it'll reset itself, and I have to remap it again. It'll start going into rooms that I had like the doors closed when I did the mapping, so that it knew where the boundaries were, like my laundry room. And now it just randomly goes into the laundry room. And we noticed that the pet feeder and this last night chimed that it reset itself. And so did my security system. I don't know if like they got updates, like Nooie pushed updates through the Wi-Fi or not. You do have a power button on here. You also have a home button. So if you do not have the app open and it's got stuck, or you just want it to return back to home, you can hit this button and it will return back to home. On the underside down here, you have two plates. This is where it's going to center itself on the home plate, and it does a very good job of centering itself on there. It does have sensors here on the underside, multiple sensors, and it will go around and it'll bump into things, but it's doing it intentionally. And if you have something random on the floor, a pair of shoes or something like that, it'll see that. Sometimes it'll push them, but it will sense it with the bumper sensors on here, and it will go around that item. And if I can get this to do that properly, so your little sweeper on here, and you can see from my different carpets, because I have rugs and different carpets down there, it gets stuff caught in here. You just have to pull it out. That little thing was pretty stuck, but this is where the extra one of these goes in. It goes and it sweeps loose stuff up underneath here, and it's actually not bad up in there. So you just feed that in, put that like that. I've had no issues. And the riser on here, like if it has to push itself up and over something, it has a good 1.5 inches of lift, and it will lift itself up to get over certain spots. So we'll just put this plate back on. This has some good play, about 1/2 inch play on here for pushing itself up and over things. I don't have really that many complaints other than it does not like going over certain things. There is a port over here, and I don't know what that's for. I'm assuming that's for manufacturing, for them doing the software updates and stuff. But it does have a lot of sensors on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the underside, because they do claim that this will, like if it's on stairs and stuff, it will sense that it's come to an edge and stop itself, which is great if you're doing that. Now, let's take a look at the app. All right, so I had to get it all set up on the base station downstairs. I don't feel like dragging the tripod and everything down there. Everyone's seen how a Roomba works. But so this is my family room. Now here's what's weird. It mapped out this section, but there's nothing in my house right here, which is weird. And it's not kitchen. I marked that as the kitchen because I thought that's where it was, but it's not. And there's literally nothing right here. So I just marked that as a zone out. But you can see that it mapped out my downstairs. There's a section right here, this little darker section that you can see. That's where my staircase ends from coming upstairs to downstairs. And there's a little nook here and then a closet right here. But it's mapped all of the main things. Now, this is what I was talking about, my laundry room. So this little hallway goes to about right here. There's a door right here and there's a bathroom. And for some reason, I had this door closed when I mapped out the room, and it will still randomly every once in a while go into that room because the door is open. So, I mean, it senses that there's space. My living room, you can tell from the little darker areas that this is where things are. So it can't go there, like my couch, and I have some displays, and then there's a little section right here where my front door is. But what is cool is, say you just want to do the living room, you just highlight that and hit clean, and it's going to go from this spot right here, which is where it is, all the way over to the living room. It's going to clean the living room. And it's kind of interesting to end up watching, because instead of just going back and forth, it goes around the border of the room, and then like a little kid with a crayon, it fills in the spaces. But it doesn't seem logical how it fills in the spaces. It'll do a space over here, then it'll do a space over here, then it'll go back and forth over here, and then it'll do it over here. I'm not sure what the logic is for the cleaning. You do have 4 different suction powers on here. You have auto, which is what I end up leaving it on all the time. You have silent, normal, and max. Of course, if you have it on max, the battery is going to not... Of course, if you have it on max, the battery is going to run down faster. You can set different areas for different floors. So let's say your dining room is hard floor. You can change that to have hard floor, linoleum, hardwood, anything like that. And then carpet over here. You can set spot cleaning. If you hit spot cleaning from where the base station is, it's just going to do a spiral around that area and then go back to home. And of course, while it's running, you can just hit go home. Let's freak out the cats because this has already been run, and we're just going to hit that, hit clean. And then as soon as it gets localized, it took a hot minute for it to, I placed it back on the base station, but it will, if it's not perfectly centered, it will realign itself and then get back to its spot. So you can actually see where he is. So he backs away from the station, and you can see the little darker spot. So that's where he's cleaning. And it actually moves pretty fast. So he'll get to this borderline, and then he'll relocate himself, center himself. And it does that a lot. It'll hit a spot or hit an area, and then you'll go forward, rotate, and it does this kind of evaluation of the area. And we're not going to sit here and watch the whole thing clean. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what you're looking at. And right here, I can tell you I have like a cat tree. So it does that, like it bumps into the base of it and you'll go around the edge of it. It'll go through this whole section. It'll clean all the spot it's supposed to. And what's funny is what it's showing right here. This is in front of the couch. My couches are actually right here on this side of the border. So it doesn't actually recognize that. And then there's a wall. The wall is actually even with the staircase over here. It'll go around, recenter, and then it'll make a border thing. Once you're all done, say it's halfway through and all of a sudden you have people over and everything, you just hit go home. And when it's not cleaning, it just makes a beeline right for the base station. And after I shoot this video, I'm actually going to remap my downstairs because like I said, everything kind of reset last night. So it keeps some of this, but there's areas that it tries to go to that it's not supposed to. So maybe there's going to be a firmware update that will fix that issue. One thing you will have to do is, I don't know, every couple of times just to wipe the eye sensor on both the base station and the front of the vacuum. And it's locked down. And it's simple as that, folks. I know this video was a little bit longer than it needed to be, but I figured I might as well show you guys everything. I wasn't going to drag the camera down. If you've seen one robot vacuum, you've seen another. But this one, it cleans really good. The only thing is, like I said, I have to find a way to get more bags for it. I go through a bag about every 2 or 3 weeks, which is not bad. But considering I have cats, it fills up with cat hair pretty quick. And my wife was actually surprised at how much the vacuum, like the real vacuum, did not pick up because this was doing such a good job. You can set it on a timer. You can have it run in the middle of the night, and then it hardly makes any noise. It makes more noise when it chimes, when it's taking off and when it's docking, than when it's actually running. If you have hardwood floors, it's probably going to run and go even better. But on carpets, I don't know how well it's going to do if you have a deep pile carpet. If you have a medium pile or you have a Berber carpet, this is going to be perfect for that. If you have carpet or hardwood and then a thicker rug, you may have issues with it trying to get up on it. Those back wheels, I have no issue with it, but it's them trying to push that front little wheel up onto the rug, and then it kind of high centers itself and it thinks that it's stuck. So something to keep in mind. This is a lot cheaper than a Roomba. I've always wanted a Roomba, but I didn't want to pay Roomba prices. And it's cheaper than the Dyson one. Of course, there will be a link down below to this on Amazon and also on Nooie's website. They have been very awesome with me in the past with things, and I have another review for a pet feeder that's coming right after this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was informative and helped somebody out. Someone enjoys this. It's Prime Day, so I also know that it's on sale. I don't know what the pricing is. I haven't even looked it up, but I will post a link down below to, like I said, this on Amazon and as well, Nooie.com. I will see you guys all in the next video. Thanks for hanging out with me. Peace.